you, Steve. As Steve said, I'm the father of two wonderful girls. I see them 2 hours a week, in spite of having been rated an outstanding father by one of the top experts in the world, where the judge refused to take that into evidence. That, of course, is why I'm here. And I've learned as a novice in this since 2004, compared to many of the other speakers, that this carnage is happening to millions and millions of children every year. I come here from a business perspective, and it's clear that we have a system that is incentivized by money to destroy children. I've rewritten my speech here 3 times because everything that I wanted to say has already been said over the last 2 days. Every one of our 50 states are experiencing this problem, which in itself proves we have a systematic problem created by Congress and federal incentives. Most people are outraged to learn that all 50 states receive billions of dollars in federal kickbacks which incentivize sole custody homes, especially when they already know by instinct and common sense that 2 parents are better than 1. The result of all these federal incentives has been the collusion between states and lawyers to drive up sole custody and divorce rates. The best interest of a child, which is the phrase that judges and the system hide behind, is a lie. We can scientifically prove and show by over 200 research studies that shared parenting with equal custody is far superior for children, yet judges grant sole custody and force it on one parent 80% of the time. Our system is doing what is in the absolute worst interest of children every day, most of the time. We need to take the profit out of the divorce industry and family destruction. The states are doing obviously unconstitutional actions daily, if not all, certainly most of the family courts. There are hidden deaths in this system, and one thing I didn't hear come up this weekend is that let's compare the death rate. Our family court is actually responsible for about 330 suicides per month as the result of what they're doing to children, and that's just the men. Okay, since the start of the Iraq War, 3,684 U.S. soldiers have died. This is as of about a month ago from one of those websites that tracks this. In the same time period, our family courts have caused, and yes, I mean caused, 17,649 suicides of fathers as a result of stealing their children and stealing their homes. That means that this country is killing 4.8 times more men by the actions of the family court than it is killing U.S. soldiers in a war. This is a silent war and is a travesty. All those children have lost a parent because of the incompetence of a government system. 40% of children of divorce cases lose contact with one parent within 2 years because the system intentionally drives a wedge between parents and their children, the non-custodial parent. We've heard a lot of talk about conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it is clear, and there is hard evidence, that many conspiracies exist within this system. 48 Hours did a story on a judge that was sentenced to 5 years in prison for taking bribes in family court and other such actions. This is a daily occurrence in America, in spite of what we've been taught about our judges and our judicial system. How many children's lives were ruined by that judge? Can the FBI investigate all these judges and find all this? We in Massachusetts have submitted evidence to the FBI, as well as the governor, that the judges in the judicial system are editing and altering court tapes to take out the things they say and do that are blatantly illegal. This is a $50 billion industry. And the rule of thumb in Massachusetts for lawyers that I've verified by interviewing and talking to some of the good lawyers is to not let the couple settle in a divorce until they have billed 40% of the value of the couple's estate in legal fees. Any other industry, this would be antitrust and fraud and obvious corruption. But our lawyers and our legislators, who are lawyers, are blocking legislation to fix this. So let's look at this holistically and say, what's the solution? For over 20 years as a society, we have known from the research that equal and shared parenting is far superior. Most of us know it instinctively. Frankly, it's common sense. Where has common sense gone? If you want a child to work in a world with both sexes, they need to work and be developed and be exposed to both sexes. It is the balance of the mother and father, different relationships and different parenting styles that creates healthy children. Lawyers do not want this to happen. As unethical and evil as that sounds, they want it to happen, and they want to drain the estates of divorcing couples. The first rule in negotiations, and I've been through the Harvard Negotiations Project, is to keep communications open in a negotiation. What is the first thing lawyers do when you come into your office? Of course, besides getting your financial statement, is cut off the communications between the couples. Okay, the solutions require an awful lot. This is actually about 35 different problems that are allowing this to happen. And we need a vision for the future that is coming together now to make this happen. I'm committed for the next 5 or 10 years, or whatever this is, to force this change. We need public education. We need pressure on legislatures. We need, and that's both at the state and federal level, although I think it's going to be very hard to get the states to fix this because it's a profit center for the state. We need organizational unity that's focused on the federal level, because the states are basically expecting to take in hundreds of millions of dollars every year from this carnage. People mistakenly think they can pressure the states, but there's too much money involved. We must educate the public to the following facts, and you've heard some of these this weekend before. Shared parenting is proven best for children, yet our courts force sole custody 80% of the time. Billions of dollars are incentivizing this under Title 4D of the Welfare Reform Act. Government is in fact incompetent at this scale and has no right to interfere in family matters until a danger is proven for the child. This has been upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court and is ignored daily in almost every family court in the United States.